Welcome to Talking Heads on USA Global TV, starring the one and only wonderful Dr. JACALYN. It's a prestigious place where world-class influencers and experts meet, and where you'll find the most trusted advisors and coaches for all things in life and business. Visit usaglobaltv.com to sign up for our newsletter, get the value you need, and be first in line to learn about events and giveaways and other valuable content. Connect with us. Email Dr. JACALYN at usaglobaltv.com to talk about how you can become part of USA Global TV. That's USA Global TV, where the doctor is always in.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to USA Global TV and Radio. I'm Dr. JACALYN KERBECK. I'm the president, founder, and chief listening officer here at our network. Our show today is the Mallorca Connection, and my connection to Mallorca is this gentleman who is not only a co-host here on our platform, he is also one of our expert presenters on Talking Heads. He's an elevated listener, and he is the incredible host and moderator of his own show. Let's welcome him, and then we'll bring out our guest today. Welcome, Roland Friedl. Hi, Roland.
Hello, Dr. JACALYN. Hello, how are you doing?
Hi, it's good to see you. Where in the world are you joining us from today?
Well, first of all, you look amazing. I love your costume. It looks great. Well, where I'm joining from, I'm in France, actually the French Alps. It's called Gorge du Verdon. This means the canyon of the Verdon River. And I'm just parking my motorhome on the side of one of these beautiful blue-green colored lakes here.
How do you say the name of the area where you are again?
Gorge du Verdon.
Okay, that's a mouthful. I'll take your word for it.
Gorge means canyon. In France, it's canyon. Gorge means canyon. Canyon. And Verdun is the name of the river.
Okay, so you're by a river. Very nice.
Yeah.
So for our friends who are joining us for the first time, they're thinking, oh, this show's the Mallorca Connection, but no one's in or on Mallorca. Tell us a little bit about the name of the show and how you came up with it.
Yeah, for sure. Hello, everyone, wherever you're joining us. My name is Roland. And when we started this show, actually last year, we called it the Mallorca Connection because my experience and my knowledge, and I'm so curious of many, many different topics. So it was difficult to find just one topic that we want to headline. So we called it Mallorca Connection. The reason for that is because until March, Mallorca, the beautiful island of Mallorca, Spanish island, has been the home base for the last 14 years. Actually, most of my stuff is still there in the garage, but I left the island on the last day of March this year, moved into my motorhome to travel around Europe, broadcast from beautiful places, service my customers online from beautiful places. But Mallorca has been my home base for the last 14 years, and most of my stuff is still there. That's why we call it the Mallorca Connection. And all my first interviews, I guess, came from Mallorca too.
Yes, it's very true. And Roland, when you think about it, you have this great wireless life. You can rock your life anywhere you are in the world. And as you're driving around in your motorhome and as you reflect on various places that you've seen in the world, the earth is changing, and it's changing very quickly. And there's cause for concern, even alarm. But there are things that we as individuals might be able to do. And I know that there's an exciting announcement that you're going to make after we bring out our guest.
Yeah, absolutely. So what I can say from my traveling is I always see myself as a world traveler. I always travel around the world for business, but also for vacations, to get to know other cultures, other countries, other languages, other habits, whatever. And what I see the last years is that some places really get worse. So like here in France, there's a lack of water because it's so dry, it's so heat, it was not enough snowing in the winter, it was not enough rain in spring. So there's less water here in the sea, but it's still beautiful. And I see that there's a lot of garbage. And other places I traveled the last months, I see that it became much better. So people are more aware about their environment, about nature, they're taking more care. More initiatives are going on, like it's called one hand, meaning whenever you walk with your dog, or you go for a run, that you always bend down and pick something up, something garbage, and bring it to a garbage place, stuff like that. So it's both. Some areas are a little improving, and some areas are getting worse. But I guess at the end, I think very positive, because more and more people are aware about taking care about actually their home, planet Earth, our mother home, our planet. And so this is the idea of bringing up a show about Mother Earth and how we can protect her, and what every individual can do easily on a daily basis. That's what we do about the show here.
Thank you for sharing that. And I read an article today, I'm just going to paraphrase, but my understanding was that where there are glaciers and icebergs that are melting, a number of billionaires are sending explorers there, or people to actually look and see what could possibly be contained in the ground that was once covered by snow and ice. So that's kind of interesting as well.
Absolutely. I guess the more the glaciers, what I say here, getting smaller and smaller, I guess more and more stuff will come up. But actually, I guess we will have in the show a very controversial discussion. Some believe in climate change, some not. But I guess it's not about believing. It's not a belief system. It's not about religion. It's about facts. We're going to talk about facts, about scientific data. But we also have to be very, very careful, because depending on who did the research, who sponsored the research, and what interest it is. So we have to be really, really careful what we can believe and what we cannot believe. And this will be also, I guess, one of the goals for the show. And I was talking to my co-host that we bring on later, that we have to be very, very clear and very, very precise and cautious. What is real data? What is not manipulated? And of course, it's hard. I use a lot of online tools and online magazines, and I remember years ago when you looked at weather forecasts on TV, there was some normal landscape. Now it's summer. It has 36 degrees, about 96 Fahrenheit. Everything, it's now the landscape is red, so there's a lot of panic, a lot of fear going on that is manipulated by Mr. But it's summer, and summer was always hot. Some summers have more rain. So here in Europe, it was a little bit colder. People have been disappointed. Now it's real summer, it's hot, and they're arguing too. So I don't know what's going on here. But it's summer, yeah, summer. It's winter.
Yeah. And to our friends in New Zealand, and I believe also Australia, they're in winter. One of our teammates, Mariska Dupree, she's in New Zealand, and she was in a sweater. She was all bundled up the other day when I met with her. So it is interesting. But our guest backstage is also one of our team members here, and you brought him to the platform. He is one of our panelists on the men's show that you came up with this idea. You host and moderate. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, the men's show. Yeah, actually, we started about 3 months ago. So tomorrow we're gonna have episode number 13 already. We do a weekly show. It's called Wild at Heart. Actually, Wild at Heart is a book title from a man I highly appreciate. He did a lot of work and still is doing a lot of work for men's. John Eldredge, one of his most famous books about man is Wild at Heart. So we named the show in honor of John Eldredge, Wild at Heart, Real, Authentic, Uncut. It's a show by man, for man, about man, because I think it's so important that men get a voice and men have an opportunity and a platform to express their emotions, their anxieties, their feelings. So what we're doing, we are 7 men from different cultural backgrounds, from different countries, from different parts of the world, with different backgrounds, and we discuss different topics. Like we had discussion about how our male sexuality was evolving as we're getting older, how our daddy had an influence on our masculinity, and different topics, man. And I guess it's a very interesting show. Every Wednesday we do this show, so please join us and hear what men have to say. That's about the show. And about one of the panelists, Marcin, I met him this year actually on a trainer course. And of course, we're visual persons. I'm a visual person too, but I'm a person of heart. I can feel it, and I had an intense feeling. This is a good character, a good guy, and so I invited him for the men's show, for the panelist show, and we also discussed other topics, business topics, corporations in business about that. And I also had a conversation with him about environmental stuff. And I said, Ron, you know what? I have a scientific background on that. It was one of my studies in university. And yeah, that's pretty cool. So I invited him and said, okay, let's do this show together and bring a good show on USA Global TV and radio about island rental. We call it the Earth Show. But it's not about panic, people. It's not about saying, hey, it's 5 to 12 and it's too late or whatever. No, it's more about education. As I said before, what can every individual do on a daily basis to make this planet Earth a better space for everyone? And as Marcin always posted, what would our relationship be with it if it would be a human person? Yeah, so let's bring him on the show. I'm very looking forward to talk together with Marcin.
Hi, Marcin.
Hi,
Nice to
guys.
see you.
Nice to see you too both. Yeah. Hi, Dr. Jacqueline. Hi, Roland.
I
Hello,
have to
dear friend.
say, this is a hot topic, right? This is a hot topic around the world. Before we get into that and the show, tell us a little bit about your backgrounds. We learned about what you studied in university, but tell us the other things that you're doing presently.
Yeah. So presently, I am a trainer, let's say a soft skills coach, and I'm dealing with emotions, which is my specialty, you may say. So I'm consulting for big companies for across Europe mainly because I'm from Poland, but also working in different on different markets. So this is like one path of my development. I'm also at the last year of psychology, as my other goal is to be a therapist. So I'm fulfilling this course as well. But when I just heard that Roland is starting another initiative around environmental protection, I just thought, yeah, that is my shot. My story is that actually when I was to choose a course, a direction on the university, I had different possibilities because I won certain contests on environmental knowledge, and therefore I had a privilege to choose what kind of occupation or what kind of a course on a university I will take. So I could be, I don't know, a journalist, a manager, a biochemist, or whoever. And then I asked myself just one question. If I am about to study something so deeply, what should it be that I will be passionate about through the years? And the answer was pretty easy. So I was born in big city, but I was raised in a very small village, deep between woods, lakes, and rivers. So my heart was bound to the nature, and I thought, yeah, if I'm about to study something, it will be nature for sure. And then I went for environmental protection and environmental biology. Then, in the course of my life, I found that actually humans are the species that is one of the most interesting. So let's study that too. And then I went for psychology, and that's what I do. So when Roland mentioned just this topic, I thought maybe this is my shot. Maybe this is the time that I can give back from my university knowledge, from my science that I did, and maybe share some passion about how nature can actually enrich our lives and how we can give back in even small behaviors.
Bravo. I'm all about this. Thank you. Question I have for you, gentlemen. One of the shows we have here is presenting pet psychic Amina. And even though she's a pet psychic, she's very concerned about the environment coexisting. And she talks quite often about the honeybee and how if the honeybees are extinct, that there will be no food for people to eat. So what comments do you have around how important each and every creature is to the future of this planet?
If you want an answer based on science, the truth is we do not know yet. And that is the most scary part of that research, because we can foresee just something that we could observe in the past, and we can do some research, some experiments, but actually some explanations are yet to come. So the environment is constructed in a way that it is a very complex system, and each and every even tiny little creature has its role, and the whole environment can depend on a very small creature like a honeybee. So I totally agree that bee extinction is tragic phenomenon, and I just hope it will not come to that. So for sure, we need to do something in order to preserve all of those pollinators, because there is from where all of our fruits come from. So if you like oranges or tomatoes or whatever other fruit that you like, there will be long gone if we lose pollinators, right? So it's really important topic, but not the only one that needs to be considered when we talk about the future of this planet.
Thank you for that answer. I really appreciate it.
I love honeybees. I love honeybees and honey, to be honest.
They're so cute.
Yeah, they're cute, and I'm a huge honey fan. And by the way, last year when I traveled with my motorhome to Poland, I bought a lot of good honey on the border to Belarus, the best honey in the world. Anyway, no, but I also believe that honeybees are so important because, you know, we need them to pollinate. Otherwise, there are no fruits. There's nothing to eat for us on this planet. It's so important to take care. And I know from the US that the travel honeybees, thousands of honeybees are population from north to south to Florida for the almonds, for the oranges. They are so important, and we have less and less. And actually, this year in Europe, I have a lot of friends who are beekeepers. And by the way, if I would settle down for a longer time, I always home base somewhere. But if I would stay at home every day, I would be a beekeeper too. But as I'll travel that much, it's not possible for me, because I love bees, I love honey, and I know how important they are for our food. Absolutely. They are.
Great point. Thank you. I want to talk about the show, the Earth show, and I have a few questions, gentlemen. So we talked about when the show is starting. We talked about some of the backstory about how you two decided to do this. Why is it that it's important for people to know about this show and for them to watch the show?
Well, the idea of the show was, as I said before, I always travel around the world, and I love being in nature. Also to be in cities sometimes, but I love to be in nature, and I see that, I call it Mother Earth is suffering. It's really suffering. We're exploding everything from Mother Earth. It's suffering, but we only have one planet. And I guess it's time, and I know there are a lot of initiatives. Maybe it's not the first show, it's not the first organization who's taking care about the planet. But what we want to do is we want to educate people, not with pointing at them and say, you're doing wrong, you have to do this, you have to do that. No, just to give examples, just to be a role model, what Marcin and myself and other people we bring to the show are doing on a daily basis to take care about Mother Earth, and so about protecting Mother Earth, and at the end, respecting Mother Earth. So it kind of respect, protect Mother Earth, because we only have a planet. And it's such a beautiful planet, you know, with this diversity. We have the sea, we have lakes, we have mountains, we have deserts, huge forests, jungles. We have to keep this because it's not only that we need it. Of course, we need it to survive as a species, but it's also beautiful and nice to have when we're on vacation, when we reconnect with ourselves. Most of our audiences may be heavy working people, very stressed in offices, in their businesses. Hey guys, you need Mother Nature to reconnect, to recharge. So it's not only about surviving as a human, as a species, I said, it's also about reconnecting, to have a good time outside in nature. That's why I started to do the show. And I had a conversation with Marcin too, and I said, you know, there are a lot of organizations, I don't want to name something, they're $1 million industries now, and they're working with panic. You know, they're panicking people, they show bad pictures. Of course, there's bad stuff outside, but they do it on because there's a reason behind it. They wanna collect money. It became a huge business, yeah. And if there's nothing traumatic going on, then they invent something traumatic to raise money. And this is not our effort. This is not our intention. We are, as we said, we are real. We are authentic. We are not sponsored by any billionaire philanthrope who at the end is just doing more than helping it. We just want to do a real, honest content show with a little bit education, meaning what people can do on a daily basis. Maybe they're not aware that it is as simple as it can be. That's my why I started. Maybe Marcin, you want to add something on your why?
Yeah, surely. Thank you, Roland. When I was listening to you, I had this revelation that actually maybe a lot of people, just like me, would listen to what you just said and say, yeah, that's important. Yeah, that is true. But then they would close the laptop or close the iPhone and then go to do what they did before without any change. And actually, my interest in this show, as I am quite well aware of all of the content that is available already, and to be honest, if you want to be educated in environmental protection, you can do so easily. But the point is, for some reason, we as humans are not so ready to change, right? And especially if we are presented with some information that calls to or are contradictive with our ways of life, our ways of doing things, then we tend to just ignore it. They become subconscious, and for some reason, they are pushed away from our picture. So my interest as a psychologist as well would be to tackle not only the facts and scientific facts that I will be ready to prepare for that show based on my education, but also to find what is inside of our heads that actually prevents us to do a good thing. Why is it so difficult and why it is so easy to be forgotten? So I will listen what Roland just said, but then I will go back to my business and I will do whatever I want. I will buy lots of stuff. I will just use whatever amount of water I need. So what is the mechanism? This is my question. What is the mechanism and what kind of a relationship do we have with the place that we live in, right?
Yes.
I absolutely agree with you, Marcin. There came a phrase in my head years ago when I was working for a newspaper. Somebody says, today's newspaper, tomorrow we read the fiction, meaning that people forget immediately what they read in the newspaper, what they see on TV or they see on social media. They see it, they are shocked, they are inspired, but they're not involved. They forget it.
Yeah, and that's normal. That's normal. We should not be, surprised, because this is just some basic law of human psychology, right? So as USA Global TV and Radio, its mission is to promote positive information. So we are on the quest with Roland to tackle this topic from the positive side and see what can we do, what we are able to do to make this environmental change, positive change possible for us and not so painful as we tend to believe it is.
A question I have for you two gentlemen, when we're talking about individual responsibility and accountability, what can we do? I was coming back from the gym yesterday and I saw a neighbor out there spraying his weeds with one of these weed killers that's so dangerous. We talk about it every Friday on the show with Amina. And I was literally there as he was doing it. I was walking by and I thought, should I say something? I wanted to say something.
Mm.
And then I thought, I don't know, I'm not going to say anything. So, I don't know what do we do in that situation when we see other people not doing as the best thing for the planet?
Well, I think that most people are failing in some stuff because there's a lack of sometimes it's a lack of knowledge. You're just not aware of it, how dangerous, how poison it is on one hand. On the other hand, some people are just lazy, they want to get out of the comfort zone. We never know what it is really. Is it just they don't know it, or they just don't want to know it? We never know this. I speak to people,
Yeah.
when I'm traveling and I see somebody, I don't know, his cigarette or his can of Coca-Cola, I say, hey, sorry, yes, you lost something. Yeah, I say that in a nice manner to them, just that they are going to just do, they have to be aware of it. Some people not aware because they always do it. No one educated them. When you look at young people, they had no role models. No one educated them. They don't know it. They're not even aware of what they're doing. But when you tell them in a nice way, not with a finger like this, it's not about that. It's not about that. It's just making them aware of it. Then they say, "Oh, I'm sorry," and really they pick it up without any arguing. It's always how you communicate with people. And I guess this is also one of the tasks of the show, as I said, not with the finger ahead, just making people aware of things that some people may be unaware. I guess that's one of the things we're doing.
Thank you. Marcin, would you like to add something to that?
Well, maybe just that, because I totally agree with what Roland just said. I see this tendency when I talk to somebody about any kind of environmental topics, that we tend to point our fingers to others. And it is so easy to be done to say, yeah, it's not my fault, it's the big pharma, or it's not my fault, it's the big business, or it's not my fault because the law is like this, and people just are like they are. But actually, we would like to challenge our listeners, our dear friends, to start with ourselves. So as me and as Roland, we will be talking about what we do and what we tried and what is our experience as well. And not to point fingers, not to say that it's everybody's blame, just what Marcin, what I can do to be with a better relationship with my mother, with Earth that I'm living on. And I hope at the end of this journey, we will find out that actually improving our relationship to this planet, even if it sounds crazy, can actually improve our quality of life, our balance, our inner peace, happiness. Because we were just made here, right? We are made on Earth. So we are connected with the environment in more ways that we can easily imagine. So improving this relationship for sure will affect our lives. And this is our goal. This is our purpose. I think, Roland, you would agree.
Absolutely. And what comes to my mind is sometimes when I have a conversation, don't understand, I'm not a political guy. I'm not on the right, I'm not on the left. I'm just a normal thinking person, yeah. But when I from this left greens was pointing out at people, and sometimes I say, what is worse? Throwing something away, maybe an empty package of cigarette or empty can of a soft drink just unconsciously, or complaining about somebody else who did it and not bending down and picking it up and bringing it to the next garbage package. So it's sometimes we do it unawarely. Okay, it happens. When I see some, we always pick down. When we walk the dogs, we always have a bag with us. Just as a short example, we always have a bag with us, and we pick up things. Because my intention is to leave a place better, in a better condition than it was when I came to. We always, it's a daily behaving what we are doing every time. So it's this, as Marcin said, we want to be role models. We want to explain people what we are doing on a daily basis without pointing on somebody else. And as you, Dr. Jekyll, you mentioned before the gym, I always went to the gym by a bicycle or by foot. I don't understand. People are driving there using the elevator and then they go on a bicycle. I don't understand this. I'm sorry. I'm driving here in a quite large motorhome. I don't have a motorbike with me. I don't have an e-bike with me. I was thinking about it. And then, you know what? I met an older couple, 80 years. He's 82 and she's 80 years. They're traveling in their motorhome around. And I thought, how do you, when you park outside of a village, or how do you travel, move? And they said, we walk. We don't use and pollute with a motorbike or with an e-bike with this poisoned batteries, or lithium batteries. No, we walk. That's what we do. We walk. And I said, oh, Roland, you do the same. You have your dog, you walk. So when I stay outside, I use public transportation to go to the city, or when I go for a supermarket, sometimes I walk with my backpack to buy some water or fruits and vegetables. Why not? We did it thousands of years, but we became so lazy and complaining about the pollution of the earth. But we are part of it. So we are part of the problem, but we are also part of the solution. It's up to us.
I really love this. I do a lot of walking when I can. My car is on the driveway probably every day except for one, when I go to the grocery store, and I walk everywhere else. I walk 3 miles to a small grocery store, and I buy some small things and then I pack it in with those ice things and I walk all the way back with it. But I tell you what, from just what the two of you are saying today, I'm going to actually carry a small trash bag. I'm going to pick up trash as I'm walking because I could walk 7 or 8 miles and that's a lot of trash to pass. So I'm going to start doing that as of today. All
Very
right.
good.
That's fantastic,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Jacqueline.
Thank you.
Let's get back to
So-
the Earth show. Is this a show where you will be welcoming guests, or is this a show that you'll be doing yourselves primarily?
We will do both. We will do a show where it's Marcin himself and a lot of information, a lot of inspiration. We want to inspire people. But we also going to, of course, invite guests who are specialists on a certain topic, or maybe it's just a normal next door person, just a real next door person who does something incredible to the environment, who has an incredible idea, or who engages his or her community in doing something differently and better. So it will be a broad variety of content and people. I guess it will be a very good show, and I strongly it will be totally different than that's on the market. Because
I'm
we have
really
no
excited
intention of
for that.
selling something, of selling
Yeah,
something.
it's kind of like the same format you used for the men's show. It's real, authentic, uncut, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
Marcin, you want to add something, my dear friend?
Yeah, it's a very good, it's a very good example of companies that say, yeah, we need to save environment and do not pollute Earth with all of those nasty plastics. So now grab everything that is plastic in your house and just throw it away and buy from us the glass one or the metal containers. That's just crazy. That's pure marketing, because actually what's the best that we can do for this planet is just to use and reuse what we already have for as long as we can. And just throwing everything out would just create a large pile of garbage, right? So it will not help anyone except of my ego, because then I can pat myself on the arm and say, yeah, Marcin, you have those pretty vegan glass containers for everything, right? And you can just, your friends will be in awe. So there are those little traps that we are guilty of, and I'm not here to judge anyone, as I'm falling in those traps as well, many times. So I would love to bring some kind of a humane flavor to it, and just see how we, as humans, as we already know what we are and what are our, secrets and flaws, how we can operate in this system in order to improve. So that's my goal in it as well.
Absolutely. And I think also to make people more aware what you're doing. But I'd like to check if we had this in another show on the Talking Heads panelists, when we had this conversation about how to avoid plastic, yes or no. You remember this? And I made my point about a straw. We're not allowed to use plastic straws anymore. We should use bamboo straws. Then we drive in our motorbike or a car or e-car. I call them scooter. We drive with a scooter to the vegan supermarket to buy plastic bag vegan stuff with soya that destroys hundreds of thousands of square meter of rainforest to grow the soya stuff. It's we have to rethink about all consequences, not just doing this and feeling good, and on the other hand we do it worse. And I guess that's part of the show, just to make people aware what you're doing, just to make them be aware what you're doing, and just start thinking. Don't listen too much to mainstream media who tell you this and this, because there's always a special interest in the people behind who pay for it, who make money out of it. But just like my grandmother say, start here, your own brain, your own thinking. Don't listen to other ones. Yeah, and that's what we want to encourage people. Start thinking with your own brain, and don't follow any trend because it's some celebrities are doing vegan, some celebrating are doing this. It's a business behind, and that's what we want to avoid here. Yeah, to be honest, to be real, to be authentic.
I'm so glad that you brought up the word trends, because we do get so caught up in what everyone else is doing, what everyone else is thinking. And to your point, I know here in New Jersey, in the United States, we are not able to use plastic bags, but yet many of the things that you buy come in plastic bags. So it doesn't make any sense. They manufacture and put it in a plastic bag, and then you have to. So it should be across the board. If we're not going to be using plastic, then there should be an initiative to start doing this. I know it's a small step here and there, but there should be some consistency. And that's where I think your point about using your brain, it's common sense. Think about it. Does it make sense to buy something that's in a plastic bag? If we're not supposed to be using plastic, maybe stop buying it and they'll package it another way. I don't know.
Absolutely.
So actually, there is a great story that comes to my mind. I'm sorry, I do not recall who actually wrote it or tell it for the first time, but it is a story about starfishes. So there is a beach, and this beach is full of starfishes just thrown out by the sea, and they are all dying in the sun. And there is an old man who just is walking around them and picking carefully one by one and just bringing it back to the ocean. And there is a young man jogging through the beach and seeing the scene, saying, "Old man, what are you doing? This doesn't make any sense. Look, there is like thousands, millions of those creatures around this beach, and you will never be able to save any of those. Just a bunch of them, and it's just pointless. It doesn't make sense." And the old man said nothing. Just picked another creature, another starfish from the sand, and carefully bring this back to the ocean, and he said, "Yeah, but for this little fella, it makes sense," and just threw it in. So for me, it's about making a real difference. If we start to think about how to change the whole planet, my mind is not so big. Maybe yours is, but mine is not. So I'm not able to think about the whole globe. It's so big, and there's so much factors that we need to take into account. But if I can think about my decisions when I buy something, and when I see the product without packaging, and I see a product with packaging made of plastic, and I can choose wisely between those two, then I really think and feel that I just made a difference. Even this tiny little one, but it really makes sense for this particular package that will not be thrown out to the ocean because of me. And I strongly believe if we just spread this awareness broader, and even after watching this show, if only one person, well, let's make it two because it's me and Roland. So if only two people would change their behavior, even in this smallest part, I think I would say we just succeeded. How about you, Roland?
Absolutely. It starts with the first step, the small step. Better first small step than nothing. And a friend of mine, he was walking a marathon, and he said, I'm beating everyone who's still sitting on the sofa. It's just about the first step, doing the first step, the smallest one. And what I also want to add is it starts with yourself, as you said. It's your self-responsibility. It starts in the smallest cell in the family, in your tribe. And it's not about what the left and the green says. It's you have to do this and they have to do this. No, it starts with yourself. And if each of us is changing a little bit, the whole environment is changing. It's about self-responsibility. It's not about you're allowed, you're not allowed, you shouldn't do this, you should not do this. It's about starting with yourself, being aware of what you do, and taking responsibility. It starts with yourself, nothing else. Then we don't need all this left and green shit. Sorry for that.
Exactly. What we do need is education, and that's what you'll be providing.
Yeah. As I said,
that's the goal.
It's not about pointing the finger around. It's just pointing on yourself. Pointing at yourself and said, what can you do? People. Sorry, when 4 weeks ago was in Vienna. People are demonstrating. Young people are demonstrating every Friday. This by the, I don't know name, but this philanthropic billionaire organization sponsored young girl is they're demonstrating every Friday. So the kids are not going to school. They're demonstrating for a better environment. They're coming by cars by the parents. They're not walking. Parents bring them. They always have the newest, whatever company is, mobile phone, all the newest stuff. They buy the newest clothes that are manufactured by slaves, by kids in Asia. And they're demonstrating for a better world. I don't understand this. So I guess this is our mission, to make people aware what you're talking and what you're doing. Please bring it together. Don't be a talker. Come to action. And even it's a small part, it's not. We don't expect you to do a revolution. We expect you to take responsibility and do a little bit and contribute a little bit. And everyone, the 8 billion people on this planet, if everyone, 8 billion people are changing a little bit, just for 1%, how beautiful, more beautiful can be this planet?
I agree with both of you. Just a quick share, a friend of mine in Florida, she noticed it got very cold, and there are a lot of iguanas that they live in the trees, they sleep in the trees, and there was a cold snap, and the iguanas literally were frozen and fell out of the trees. And she got some big cardboard boxes, and she went around collecting them while they were in this state, and she brought them into the garage and put blankets over the boxes and heated up the space so that they could come back to life. And then she released them. And I thought, that's so beautiful to save all those lives with a simple act like that.
Absolutely. Yeah. I want to add something. I know I'm very passionate about this topic, and I'm sorry for my language. And sometimes I'm really doing a real clear talk, because it's so important. And what you don't expect on this show, we're not complaining about any industry. We're not complaining about politics, because guys, you voted for the politics and you decided to buy these products from these companies you're planning for. So we are talking about you, Marcin, and myself, what we can do. Just to make this clear, we're not complaining about any industry, about any company, about any politics. No, we are talking about ourselves, what we can do. That's my statement here.
Thanks for the disclaimer, Roland. And gentlemen, how do people get involved if they'd like to be a guest on the show? What do they need to do?
Well, the easiest way in the beginning is to contact USA Global TV. We're just working on a website. The website's name will be Respect Mother Earth, but it's in progress. It's not online. There will be a website. There will be an email address. Please be patient. It's holiday time, so the agency is on holiday. We are working on that. But in the beginning, if you want to contact us, please go via, it's easy way. You say Global TV, go on the website and write to Dr. JACALYN, or you can write to us directly. You see my website, rolandfriedl.com. You see Marcin's email address, but there will a specific website and a specific email address for this show, for this topic will come, but it takes some time.
Okay. Fantastic. Well, it's been a wonderful show. Thank you so much for introducing the new program. And I will share this again, introducing the Earth Show, starring these two fine gentlemen. And it's all about, if the planet were a person, what kind of relationship would we have with that person? And we're going to have these two gentlemen look at what are some things that we personally can do. And again, it's not pointing fingers at anyone. It's not bashing any industry. It's just looking at each of us as a global citizen. What can we do? Today, I will be starting by picking up trash as I am out on my walk. So I'm excited about that. I will not have a plastic bag. I will have a reusable bag. How about that? A reusable bag that, paper bag, something, I don't know. Paper bag, is that okay?
Yes, sure.
Pretty much, yeah. They are recyclable, yeah.
Okay.
And Dr. JACALYN, what I want to say is I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I guess I can speak also in Marcin's name. I want to thank you on the bottom of my heart as the owner and the founder of USA Global Radio, that we had the chance to bring the show to the audience on your platform. Thank you so much for that.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate you both for doing this. So that wraps up our show. I'll just leave folks with one message. Our website, usaglobaltv.com, has been updated. We've got some new features and functionality, so please do go over there. If you're looking to book your session to be on any of our shows, that's where you would find it, usaglobaltv.com. We don't have this show up yet, but we will have it up very soon, the Earth Show, and you can go ahead and book in as a guest. So, gentlemen, I'm going to spotlight each of you. And for people listening on the radio, how can they get in touch with you? They can't read your information. So please just say it once more if you would. Roland, start with you.
Hello, folks out there. Yeah, my name is Roland Friedl. If you want to contact me, it's my website, my name, rolandfriedl.com. I will spell it for those who are listening on a podcast or on a radio station. It's ROLANDFRIEDL, rolandfriedl.com. That's what I call my main website, and then you can link to the other website, and there's also a contact form. And I'm more than happy if you contact me, whatever you want to talk about it. You're very, very welcome. Thank you so much for watching this show.
Thank you very much. Marcin, how about you?
Yeah, so thank you for listening to that, if you are listening to that. And you can see my email address here, and I'm very easily to be found on LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram even. But I would leave you with just one little challenge. If you could try, after you will close that show, please just go outside for a moment, look at the sky, and try to imagine that you are going through the deepest space on the very precious and big ball of life. Try to feel the connection. And if you feel it, then you will know what I'm talking about. So see you at our Earth show soon.
All right. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for being here. I will see you shortly.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you to each and every one of you for watching, for listening, whether it's on the live or the replay. We're just happy that you're here. Our platform is all about education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. So if you would like to join us in any capacity, please do contact me. You can go over to my website, which is usaglobaltv.com or drjacalyn.com. That's our last show for today. So you can watch our content on our YouTube channel, which is, guess what? Surprise, USA Global TV. All of our shows are put into playlists, and you can find this. You will be able to find this in the Mallorca Connection this evening. So please go there and watch all of our shows and support our team members. They contribute so much. Follow them on LinkedIn and do reach out and connect, because without connecting, where would we be? That's what it's all about. One connection at a time, each of us helping to lift up one another. That's what we're here for. Thank you again. See you tomorrow when we have another full day of broadcasting. Bye for now.